So what materials do you need for name painting? Well, in this video, I will be showing you all of the materials that I use to paint letterbrush art. So let's get right to it. Hey, it's Marisol here, and this is Art Heals You, helping you expand your creativity and use painting as a self-care tool. And in this channel, I do painting tutorials as well as painting tips, and I will also be doing some art product reviews. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing. So let me tell you how I learned this technique. So back in the day, I was working at Disneyland as an artist, and that is where I learned this really cool technique. The company provided all the materials, and with practice and time, my skills really improved, and it was really cool to watch. I was working for a while at the theme park when I was hired as a graphic designer, which ultimately that became my career for many years. And I love painting so much that I didn't want to let go of it. And I did graduate with a degree in animation and illustration, so that is what I studied, but I was thinking in my head that graphic design was the next thing for me to do. So I decided to do name painting on the side and continue my painting skills, right? Which is something that I needed because graphic design was really not my cup of tea. And to be honest, it was really boring. Working corporate is not for me. And if you guys can relate, you know what I mean. It's just I cannot sit in a cubicle in front of a computer. So I had to stay creative and I had to continue painting just to keep my creative juices flowing. So I decided that I wanted to continue name painting. So I started doing research and I was looking for the art materials on Google, and absolutely no luck. I also called the company directly I was working with at the theme park so I can get more details about where I can get the materials, because I had to return them, so I couldn't keep them. But I really had little luck and I wasn't really getting anywhere. So it was really frustrating. So I began to Google and I did my own research, and I was able to find some of the items. The only items that I could not find were the paintbrushes. So ultimately I had to figure out how to make those on my own. So today I'm going to show you the art materials that I use, but you may notice, if you are familiar with this technique, that the materials that I use are a little different than maybe other artists that you've seen. I have noticed that some of the artists that I've seen use different type of paints. They use sponges, their brushes look a little bit different, but I think that every artist has their own particular way of working with this technique. So just be aware that in this video, I will be showing you the art materials that work for me and the art materials that I started with when I was learning this skill. So for the paints, I like to use Chromatemp Artist Tempera Paint. So this is a water-based tempera paint, and it's really easy to use. It's really easy to clean up, and I just love working with this paint. This is pearlescent colors that I am using, which means that the end product has a metallic, shiny look to it. So I personally really like that effect, but they also offer regular colors as well as fluorescent. So when you're getting started, it's really up to you what type of colors you would like to use. So other materials that I like to use, I like to buy these little jars. They are 2-ounce glass jars. You can get them either plastic or glass, it doesn't really matter, but they are 2 ounces, or you can get them just a little bit bigger if you'd like. So what I do is I will pour each individual color into one jar. So you'll have a total of, well, here I have the basic colors that I like to start. So I have the red, the green, I have a blue, black, white, yellow, and violet. So I'll have a jar for each color. And I will show you guys in a later video how I mix my paints so I can prepare them and put them in the jar. In addition to the paints in the jar, I like to use also, this is Higgins drawing ink. And what I do is I have one for each color. And so when I'm mixing my paints, I use this for the mixture. So this is really important to have as well. And I really suggest for you to get one of these. So the next tool that I use, and I would say it's the most important, are my brushes. So here I have a couple, but I will show you one and just talk a little bit more about my brushes. So as I have mentioned before, I was having a hard time finding these type of brushes when I was getting started. So I figured out a way to make them myself. So in a future video, I will be showing you how to make these brushes so that way you can make your own brushes. The next essential that you need is a metal tray. And this is something that I've used, and honestly, I've had this for a very long time. As you can see, I was painting right before I filmed this video, so it's a little dirty. I haven't washed that, but this will last you a lifetime, and I will show you how you guys can use this. Other essentials are napkins, and of course, you cannot forget you will need illustration paper. And this is hardstock heavy illustration paper, and you have to make sure that it is heavyweight. Otherwise, when you start painting, it will start bending. It just does not look pretty. So make sure that it is heavy stock, cardstock paper. The last thing that I use is glitter. I personally really like glitter. I know some people don't really like working with it because, trust me, it gets everywhere. But I don't mind. It's fun to work with, and I really like the final product because it shimmers even more and it just looks really beautiful. So I like using glitter. So this is an option that you have as well. Now, if you guys are interested in these art materials, I will be putting a link in the description so you guys can go ahead and grab them for yourselves. And also in the next video, I will go ahead and show you guys my setup, how I set up, and lastly, it will be how I make my brushes. So please stay tuned so you can learn more about this awesome technique. If you are getting value from this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And if you have any questions for me, let me know down in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you are interested in learning more about this skill, I am in the process of building an online course to teach you more details about this technique. So all you have to do is go to the description below and click on the lovely name painting school and sign up for the waitlist. And I will be sure to keep you posted on more details of when I launch. I really hope that this video has been helpful and that you've been enjoying it. So thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to showing you more videos in the future about this technique. So please stay tuned. And lastly, I can't wait for you to be painting along with me. More details to come soon. Until then, stay creative and I'll be seeing you soon.